Tucson shooting, a black bag found just blocks from accused shooter Jared Loeffner's home. Authorities say that it contained ammunition matching what was used in the shooting. Representing Loeffner in the case will be 58-year-old Judy Clarke, a public defender who has had some notorious clients like Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, and even the woman who was found guilty of murdering her two young sons, Susan Smith. Todd Letcher went up against her when he defended Olympic Park bomber, or when she defended Olympic Park bomber Eric Rudolph. He's a retired FBI agent and joins us now. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. So just an interesting note about the case and how it's played out. Many in Arizona's judicial system have had to recuse themselves because a federal judge was killed in this case. And in terms of public defenders, there are a lot of people who refused, I guess, to represent this suspect. So then Judy Clarke sort of steps into it, and she's notorious for taking on cases that other people don't want to touch. What is she like, and why does she do this?
I have a lot of respect for her. I think she's very smart. She knows the law. She's particularly adept at navigating federal cases involving the death penalty. She puts together a good team that surrounds her, and she's a tireless advocate for her client. I think her belief stems from the fact that every defendant deserves adequate representation.
She also is an opponent of the death penalty, and there are some who say, wait a minute, you know, she's highly respected in the legal world, yet she's had some of the most notorious killers off of death row. She's responsible for, right, Eric Rudolph not getting the death penalty, perhaps making some sort of agreement as well for Ted Kaczynski and Susan Smith.
Yes, I mean, she's going to try to do the best she can as far as representing her clients, and she's got a lot of resources to draw on. She's had a lot of experience, as I said, in these high-profile cases. I think the other thing I admire about her is she's not going to try the case in the media. She's very understated in her approach, but that belies a very aggressive advocate for her client.
And as we talk about her client, and, you know, a lot of people are looking back and pouring through the history of this suspect and saying, were there any signs, were there anything that could be done ahead of time to perhaps prevent this tragedy? And you said that similar questions were asked as you were investigating Eric Rudolph.
Yeah, my prayers go out to the victims and their families. I think from a law enforcement perspective, your ultimate mission is to protect the people that you serve. Right. The problem with the lone wolf offender is they give you very little information that allows law enforcement to predict that something is going to happen. They're loners. They tend to stick to themselves. A lot of times they're socially inept. And if they're planning something, you're not going to know it. You're not going to be able to get intelligence about what's going to happen. So I think there's a frustration in law enforcement in dealing with the lone wolf offender.
In terms of the investigation and how this is proceeding, I mean, we don't have many details right now, but we do know that he's not said to be cooperating with police in this situation. So if they have to move forward, you know, if he's going to plead not guilty and they're going to move forward, you know, is this a pretty easy, an easier case to put together because of all the eyewitnesses, because of the potential for forensic evidence?
I think the facts of what happened are going to be hard to dispute with all the eyewitness testimony, right, and that sort of thing. But I think for Judy Clarke, she's very good at getting to know her client, the defendant, sitting down, talking to them, learning what makes them tick. And I think ultimately that helps her decide what avenue she's going to take in putting up a good defense.
Even if he does escape the death penalty or even a conviction on the federal level, there's also the state charges as well. There are some of these federal charges for the attempted assassination of a congresswoman, the murder of a federal judge, and then you have the other people that were shot, killed, and wounded as well.
Right. Judy Clarke's adept at dealing with these multi-jurisdictional types of cases, which could involve either federal or state prosecution. And I think ultimately what she'll attempt to do is reach some type of global settlement where from a federal side, she'll attempt to resolve that aspect, but the state side as well.
All right, well, we'll see where the investigation goes from here. Todd Letcher, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
TJ?